And good evening again, everyone. I'm Rod Wood.
And I'm Carrie Lazarus in for Christy. A Madison County farm distillery is putting Lebanon on the world stage with international honors for their whiskey. News Channel 9's Farah Jadrin tonight takes us to old Home Distillers, where the corn, the grain, and even the barrels are made in central New York.
Picturesque farm country. It's calm and quiet in Lebanon, just off Campbell Road. Inside Old Home Distillers, the Carvel brothers perfecting their whiskey, bourbon, and gin. Aaron and Adam are home again.
My brother Adam contacted me back in 2014 and asked me if I wanted to come home. And I didn't really want to come home at that time, but when he explained it was to open a craft distillery in our hometown, I couldn't resist.
Adam leaving Arizona for upstate New York. Aaron returning to the States from the South Island of New Zealand. The brothers feeling added pride each time a piece of their hometown is poured and tasted.
I think it's really a nice moment when we go out there in the world and people start to recognize the place. They start to go, oh, Lebanon, that's where the distillery is. And I think that's been kind of a unique thing that's happened over the years as we've been going here. People are starting to kind of recognize the area and have been out here for the first time. We're bringing people out here who would have otherwise never come out.
Old Home Distillers has already won its fair share of awards. The Carvel brothers actually just picked up these 2 international awards this year.
Usually we don't put a lot of credit in chasing medals, but in this instance we said, look, we've got some really good stuff. Let's spend the money, enter a couple of spirits, and see what happens.
Long before bottling the signature brothers cut straight whiskey, bourbon, or maple, or spiced, there's a process.
It has a little whiskey flavor to it right now. You can taste it if you like. It's not finished product yet. This has a long ways to go, but it's sweeter than you might expect. We get really good corn in New York. That's something that people don't really recognize, is that the quality of grains that we use in New York are outstanding. They've always got very good flavor to them, and it really shows. Even in the early stages like this, you can tell we're on our way to good product.
This instrument measures how much less dense than water the liquid is, and that gives us a good indication of how much alcohol is in it, because alcohol is a lot less dense than water is going to be. So before we adjust for its temperature, we're looking at a strength of 112.9 proof. So 56% alcohol in that.
What goes into each batch? Locally grown ingredients, flowing through a Cicero-made still, then barreled and aged, thanks to a Remsen business, Adirondack Barrel Cooperage.
And as a New York State farm distillery, it's really important for us to point out that we are 100% New York State-based grains. So we don't ferment anything that grows from out of state. We don't use any cane sugar in any part of our process. If we're going to sweeten any of our spirits, we would use a New York State sweetener like maple syrup.
The grain went from Canastota or Bouckville to the malt house and back to us, or that the corn was grown in Vernon, shipped to us, and then right into the mash. All that's very important to us.
Important to a couple of Lebanon brothers bourbon whiskey made in central New York. Farah Jadrin, News Channel 9.
Now, we're told the Carvel brothers are also keeping original pieces of their town's land in the operation. They restored a 100-year-old horse barn, which is now the storefront, tasting room, and distilling room. To find more stories of these incredible products made in central New York, check out the News Channel 9 app.
Let's check